Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh. Today I'm going to take you guys with me on the journey of doing some lot testing with some ammunition that you may not even be aware that you can lot test at home. That ammo is RWS R50. So you can call these guys up at Anschutz North America and you can order what they call a test lot pack. So when you do that, they are going to send you a brick with 10 individual lot numbers. They're going to cut you a 20% discount on that. And they're going to ship it to you. Now, I'm relatively close to them. I got this in 2 days. And with all lot testing, especially when you're doing it at home, I like to do it as soon as I get it. Unfortunately today, if you're seeing behind me, the conditions aren't great, so we're probably only going to be testing at 50, but we're also going to be using the FX chronograph to get our real-time SD and ES numbers so that we can also compare that. If the wind dies down, we may take it to 100, and I have written the lot numbers of all 10 on this actual paper target. We're gonna go hang this at 50 yards and we're gonna start shooting, and I'll bring you guys along on what I'm recording, how I'm kind of measuring these, and the overall results of what we got going on here. Woo, it's pretty spicy there. So that's 10 shots, the very first lot. I'm gonna write it on the box here. A standard deviation of 2.7 and an extreme spread of 9. Holy moly. All right, so we're getting close to wrapping up here for 50 yards. I apologize for not having as much downrange camera footage as I normally would, but it is heat index of over 100, and cameras just don't really particularly care for that. So we're gonna be working our way from bottom up. What we're gonna do is shoot at the bottom left corners of the boxes. Ooh. I guess maybe that's wind. Huh, okay. Fell apart a little bit there. Standard deviation 7, extreme spread 24, so that is not gonna work. Yeah, I really don't like the looks of that either. Standard deviation 5 and 18. Guys, the importance of a good chronograph here when you're lot testing really just can't be overstated. You really want to know the SD and ES. That's going to really impact those groups at distance. SD is your shot-to-shot dispersion. That ES being the extreme of both ends. As you get out to 200 plus yards, if the targets are small, that's going to matter a lot. And with that, we had 4 and 13, which isn't bad. I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people will be very happy with 4 and 13. I would too, if it shot really, really well downrange too. So we're gonna pull that target in. We're gonna take a look, we're going to go on to phase 2. So out of the 10 original lots between both guns, I have whittled it down to 6 lots, with only 1 lot being shared by both the Voodoo and the Rim-X, and that was the very first lot we tested. Top left of the target, 68 IR, had a 2.7 SD on the Voodoo, a 3 SD on the Rim-X, and arguably shot during the worst wind of the day and still had pretty excellent results. So we have that and quite a few others which I have transferred over to this new target. And this is a target that we're going to hang at 100. All right, so we're going to come up roughly 1.6 mils. We're not doing anything for cold bore or anything like that. We're going to shoot the very first group. Will be in the top right of the paper. Left group. Hopefully we're close. Interesting on that first shot. We're going to go 1.6 on this too. But when you're in the wind and the wind is variable, you kind of need to be able to move. So we're starting top left. It's probably going to have a cold bore shift. That wasn't too bad either. Let's go grab that target. All right, so you guys were able to see these shot live, and we're going to go over the particulars of which I would pick for which rifle. But first, I want to go back through the entire process to explain exactly how I went about this. So I ordered the test lot kit from Anschutz North America. They cut you a 20% deal. You get 10 different lots in 1 brick of ammunition. So that's 50 rounds per box and 10 different boxes. I wrote out every lot number and went through and shot all of them with both rifles. So we shot those at 50. I came in here and quickly looked at the SD and ESs. So I was looking for decently good groups for the conditions. Now we didn't have great conditions, and more importantly SD and ES, as those are going to matter more to me as a long range precision shooter. After having looked through all of this, I was able to take out 4 lots, leaving myself 6 lots with only 1 lot needing to be reshot in both rifles based on that criteria. So we went out to 100 yards in, again, less than ideal conditions, but we shot these to see how they would stack up. Now, ultimately, I won't make my mind just off of this data. I will actually take the best of this. I will wait a day, maybe clean the rifles. Then I'm going to go out and use the ammunition that I know is not going to be in the running, and I'm going to foul the rifles back in with that ammunition. So that's kind of just our fouler ammo now, and I'm going to take those top 2, and after the rifles are fouled, I'm just going to quickly shoot a 5-shot group at 50 and a 5-shot group at 100, and I'm just checking to make sure that in the next day's conditions, relative to the current wind conditions, that they're going to reasonably fall within what I had seen on the first day. So let's get into which exact lots that I would pick based on this. So first, starting with the Voodoo rifle, I think I would be going for 47 6WR. I was able to shoot a .291 and a .275, 2 5-shot groups at 50 yards, and I had a standard deviation of 4 feet per second, which is pretty good out of 22 long rifle. Now when that lot was taken out to 100, it also performed the best. I didn't capture SD and ES at the 100, but we were able to shoot a .630 and a .350, both pretty impressive for the distance. And that lot is certainly something that could take me to the podium on any PRS or NRL 22 match I would ever shoot in. Now moving on to the RimX, we're going to be looking at lot 77XR. Now that lot at 50 yards shot a .357 and a .263 inch group. And it had one of the better SDs of 3 feet per second. So 3 feet per second standard deviation is pretty good. And I think it had an extreme spread of around 11, which is really, really good. So at 100 yards, you can kind of see that because we're looking at very little vertical dispersion. The first group shooting a .547 and the second group with just a little more windage in it shooting a .685. Both very, very respectable. All 10 lots of these were not winners. I had some that had standard deviation up around 13, 14, 15 with extreme spreads up as high as 30. But overall, there were a lot of very good SD and ES numbers. The best one being the very first lot we shot, 68 IR. Now, we didn't actually end up using this lot. And this lot is something that I may actually shoot again. I have very limited ammo left of it because we did shoot it across both rifles. But at 100 yards, it did okay. The Voodoo had the cold bore shift, so that kind of ruined that for the Voodoo. The RimX also threw some flyers with it, but at 50, both performed really well. And out of both rifles, I had a 2.7 SD in the Voodoo and a 3 in the RimX. So still that lot has some potential, but I think across the board, the other two kind of outperform it. So next steps from here would be to call Anschutz North America once I make a decision. Call them up, give them the lot number that I want to order, see how much they have. Typically, they're not going to send you lots unless they got a case plus of it. So hopefully, if you were interested in doing lot testing on your own, or if you weren't aware that RWS had a lot testing setup here in the United States, hopefully this information has helped you. So I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one.